ended up coming into Katie. So Katie ends up, she's working with her, she's showing her homes, everything else. But then one day ago, the same person, she's looking on 2 separate sites. She was looking on Trulia and Zillow. So now Kev ended up looking like it was a new lead for Kev. If we do not have notes and stuff, so here's the good thing, she left a shit ton of notes. I could see that you were working with her, I could see the conversations, I could see you set shit up. So immediately, in my opinion, Danny Kev's like, that's just somebody who's searching on multiple sites. By the way, that's pretty normal for people to search on multiple sites. They might just like something. Zillow and Trulia just happen to be owned by the same company, so I don't know why in the world that there's no integration with that, but there's not, whatever, it is what it is. I just know that not a lot of people use Trulia. Trulia is a very small section of Zillow, but some people prefer it for whatever reason. So then that lead ended up coming in again. So then it's 3 times that I paid for that lead. That's Amber, so it's gotta be like at least 400 or 350 a phone call. So the point of it is we gotta lock in the my agent relationships. They've never been more important than right here, right now. And I believe that you guys, within 30 days, you're gonna know if you like somebody or not. Like hands down, you're gonna know if you like them or not.
Jake, can I ask
Now,
you a question?
yeah, go
When
ahead.
I look up that particular lead, it shows them twice.
Yes, and it does. And the
Okay.
reason it shows them twice is because one of the inquiry was from
Trulia,
Zillow
okay.
and one was from
And so
Trulia.
when I see that, I email Katie and she'll combine them, so it doesn't count like for 2 for me?
That's a good question. We can combine sites, that is true. We can.
But if you convert them, then you get 2 conversions.
No, it technically should just go into one. I love it.
I'm just
No,
saying,
I
like,
love it.
it's gotta count for something.
Yeah, okay.
No, I love
If
it.
it counts against you, it's gotta count for you.
I agree with you 100%. So some of our numbers are just getting skewed here. It's literally like no fault of our own, but can we be proactive about some of these things to avoid them? And the answer is yes. By integrating and using follow-up bots, at least then we know that we have notes and things. So if Kev did literally 0 things wrong, picked up the phone and he did exactly what he was supposed to. But I'm not willing to take away somebody just because they're looking at a different site. That's not a new lead. I paid for the new lead, but that's with her. She's got an established relationship. She's went in the field with them. She has notes from them and everything. So please, 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 no matter what, the my agent relationship has to have some serious weight now because it's going to protect you. It's going to protect the team. It's going to protect our money that we can invest so we don't get redundancy. So a my agent relationship, I think, and a my agent relationship also represents to me the middle ground that sometimes gets lost for us.
I
Because,
think, if I can say
Yes.
this though, so, I think that and I think this is our policy, but there does seem to be some confusion sometimes, so I just wanted to bring it up.
yeah, please.
If you get a lead, and you have that lead for 30 days, and you don't establish a my agent relationship, and that person calls in on somebody else's shift, that is that person's lead now, the new person. You had 30 days.
You've done nothing.
Yeah, you
You
had
have-
30 days.
It's not just that you have to have a my agent relationship, because if you are having regular conversations with them,
It actually, every time you engage, it
in the
reestablishes that
app,
30
it
days.
establishes.
Right.
So one of the things that's interesting to me is that people like to pull things out of the app and call from their phone. I wouldn't necessarily do that. I think that part of the reason that my scores are always high in Zillow is because I do text right out of the app. And that keeps them coming to me whether or not they hit. Sometimes they decline because it comes straight away. But I keep talking to them through the app, and so you have to keep engaging them in the app. Yes.
So does the phone contact count then?
That's a good question.
That's literally, that's the $1 million question right now, because if we're asking everybody to use FUB,
Right.
we need to know this. I need to
We
know
do
that
need to know.
when we're texting through FUB,
Yeah, because I
Does it
never
continue
used
our
Zillow
mileage?
for any.
I was gonna say, you've
I
not-
would never text
alright, so
them.
people who have never used texting through Premier that only uses FUB, I would love to know if that my agent, we need to know, actually, we just gotta send, we gotta
It's
send the
interesting
email.
because recently we have had more of this than ever, I think.
Yes,
And I
because of the
think it's
redundancy
because
and
of
the
the FUB. It's because of the FUB.
But were
integration, 'cause we
most
never had
people
like
doing
this much.
what you were doing and texting through Zillow, or were they texting through their personal line?
Before we didn't have FUB, and so people were always, we were a mixed bag,
No,
but
I know,
I really
but-
do think, I understand sometimes the convenience, No, I don't. I don't understand why anybody pulls it out and uses their cell phone. I
Okay,
know.
I'll tell you, cause I
Okay.
do it, I'll tell you. So, the app itself, so because I have so many push notifications on my phone, it's not, it becomes just this like list of notifications where it's easier for me to miss a notification on Zillow on the Zillow app than it is for me to miss a text message.
I do
And
fully
whenever they
understand
text me
that.
through the app, it's like I don't see it for way longer than if they text me, and then like now it looks like I'm not communicating.
So I do hear that. I will say that like when I pull up, right, it'll just say like everything that's been happening, you know. And so I kind of see it that way, but also that has trained my brain to look at my Zillow app
Right.
29 times a day.
That's true.
And it
Because
does
your
keep me a
text
little
message-
bit more in my business
Right.
and even in with the people, because when I'm going up to pull up text messages, yeah, I'm seeing the people that I'm talking to, but I'm also seeing the people that I'm not. And so it makes me remember to do that.
I think that's the other thing is that in my notifications, it seems like my text messages will always be at the top. It'll be prioritized, like your actual contact versus your push notifications. So I always like to see where my text messages are, but I think, you know, there's something to be said about like, oh, well, it trains me to look at this all the time. Like, I think that you have a point, and maybe what I need to do is look at some of my other push notifications and start getting them out.
Well,
can
stop
change
looking at it like a
to,
nuisance,
like,
right?
different
Like take
apps
BuzzFeed
and
news
have
off your
them
phone,
on
or
Yeah.
like, you know.
Okay. Oh, I might need to do that.
ESPN
You can make it
updates.
so it doesn't
Especially if
send
you get them for another 30 days. If you get them for another 30 days,
Hang on
I'll
one
do
second.
it.
I said you can just make it so it doesn't send you that many push notifications, and you can also change on your phone the sound that pops up when Zillow
Right.
texts you.
Yeah. I'm
Good
gonna,
idea.
you know,
Oh,
because
that's a
I
good
mean,
I
idea.
haven't wanted to.
Yeah, because they can get numbing. I mean, that's a, I
It's-
understand
it is,
100%. It's not
It is.
fucking numbing.
But I think the sound is a good point.
The sound is
because
wonderful.
We can like
Yeah.
have,
Great idea.
you know,
Great
like-
idea.
There we go.
Yeah. But you know, and prioritizing, like if you can prioritize what pushes.
We don't have sound. I don't have sound. I don't ever keep my phone on speaker. It's always
Ever.
So it's like, I can.
It would just be all day.
Yeah.
I guess I'm confused though, I thought the whole point was we're going to
Yeah, if you
fund
notice, my
for
notes-
communication.
We are going to buzz, but we would, like, the same idea is we have to get that initial answer figured out before I start
Okay,
solely
yeah.
texting from Bub.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest question here is, will a my-agent relationship continue if we only use FUB as our main source of
It's
contact?
gotta be, because
That
I've
is
never,
literally the,
I've never communicated through Zillow, I only do, and
But
it
they're
does, it
just,
tells
they're
me.
choosing to do it. They're choosing to do the 1 year. We're talking about the people who don't choose to do the 1 year.
okay, yeah, so yes, let's talk,
30 days, you guys, under?
what's that?
Doesn't it tell you if it's a 1 year or it's a 30-day relationship?
Yeah, it does.
So can you just pull yours up real quick and see how many 30 days relationships you have versus 1 years, and then I'll let her know
Yeah,
if
is that possible? Could we just
they're,
take a peek?
if they're actually hitting that
We
one.
might be able to see if that's happening through.
Well,
the-
the other thing is that you send it sends it back out multiple times, like when you're working with them more. And I mean, listen, there's plenty of things I can do better in my life, okay? But working out of the Zillow app, for whatever reason, this really, I mean, I have like a 55% work with rate. I
Yeah,
get
she's-
a lot of people
Literally killing it.
that do that my agent relationship thing that really helps. I have like a 92 and a 55.
Yeah.
And that's all I do differently than you, is work out of the app.
Right.
And those two components right there are key indicators of those scores too. When you have a high work with rate, that means that that person has established a my-agent relationship, so.
Right, like the
that's-
target is 35, mine's a 55.
Target-
I'm telling
target
you
truly should-
because I know.
Target truly should be 50, that's
It
just
should.
low, yeah, that's strangely low.
I mean-
Alright, hang on guys, hold all your questions, we're just gonna go 1, just keep your question, write it down real quick if you don't have it, if you think you'll forget it. Go ahead.
Is there a way to like, that we can talk about like how to pitch, like having them do the my agent relationship? Because, I mean, I know people have given their thoughts about it, but I always send over my Zillow profile with my initial text.
Yes.
And like, but I don't ask them to check my agent, I just send it over just so you know they have my.
There's a couple of different ways I would do it.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Depending
so-
on the situation, so, okay, you get somebody who's like hesitant, right? They don't like that they're on the phone with you, you can always hear that. They're like, oh, I didn't mean to call an agent. You can be like, listen, it sounds like you're a little bit new to the process and you don't wanna be inundated with people. So if every time you pick up the phone and call Zillow, you're gonna get a different buyer's agent on the phone. And if you just want to send me text messages and you kind of wanna like not have people bombard you like that, just push the my agent relationship and no one else will contact
Do you
you.
do that for like the first showing or like the initial?
I'll do that on the first phone call if it doesn't, you're like, ugh.
Just depends on how they're vibing with it. Yeah.
Right. So sometimes I just use it
That's
as a
funny
means
because you're
of-
setting up the idea that because they've clicked a button, they're gonna get a bunch of phone calls, even though that might not be true. And so
That's okay.
but that's kind
But
of
I just
smart.
say,
It's like,
you push that button, no one else is gonna bother you, you can just reach out to me when you're ready.
Yeah.
And then in a week's time anyway, I'm gonna send you property. But, I'm ready to decide, like, I'm the hands-off agent, that's how I come across on the phone, like, I'm not gonna bug you, because they're afraid. It's really an education of the Zillow process, I think, the best way to secure a buying relationship.
It truly is, and when you speak to them, when you're speaking with that too, no hesitations, no stutters in the voices, it's just like, Mr. Lenny told me a long time ago, no matter what you say, just everything comes off as a matter of fact. Oh, you like $1 million for your $100,000 house? Okay, that's cool, I'm gonna see what I can do. They gave $1 million, right, for the $100,000. But it's always the tone and just the way that you work your way through that. Always, man, it's just
Right.
always.
Know how the system works and have an answer and ready answer when they're like, oh, you're not the list agent? No, Zillow always connects you with the buyer's agent because the selling agent has a fiduciary responsibility to that seller. And
They
this
want
way
you to
you
have
can
no
say
relationship.
anything you want to me. And I always use the same example. Like if you were to say right now, I love that house, I paid 50 over the asking. Well, the seller's agent would have a fiduciary responsibility to share that information with the seller, but you can say anything to me and it doesn't, So, just know how Zillow works and understand the confusion on the buyer end, and then clear up that confusion. And generally, right there, that's how I will get people. And then other than that, if you're just like working with someone in the field and it's going well, like even right from the field, if they're liking something or if they're like, did you see this thing on Zillow or whatever, just be like, I'm gonna send you this thing right now, right in front of them. I'm gonna send you one, and you select and send my agent, and that way I can see what you heart on Zillow. It's just another tool for me to see what you're liking.
Yeah.
Awesome, great.
So just for clarity, even if you write to them through the app, it restarts the 30 days.
Okay, which app are you saying?
Through the Zillow app.
Yes. So just so everybody knows, whenever you, in that first 30 days, if you speak to them at all, and they respond back in that Zillow app, the new 30 days starts every single time you communicate with them.
But they have to reply.
And
It's not just us.
Do they
They have, I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't just be sending your own, it has to be.
That's what I was wondering, because I was gonna say, like, as you're heading toward the end of that 30 days.
Yeah, no, I
Sending
believe
out-
I believe they have to.
Have to interact. Okay.
Reciprocate that. Castro, question.
I mean, so what we're saying, even though this question kind of like that answer kind
That's
of,
it, yeah.
we're saying we start with Zillow, we stay on FUB after that, or we just FUB all the way, like what do we?
Okay, that's a great question, and I don't have the answer to that, I'm working on that right now. So the answer is this. And I can tell you how to cover yourself completely with a my agent relationship.
Yeah.
If you get the my agent relationship, you have them for a year.
There's nothing you can do in follow up to send out that request.
You can't, and that's why I'm honestly leaning towards the fact that if you're doing exactly what you're supposed to, and doing only FUB without a man agent relationship, after 30 days, that person's gonna be to the wind in Zillow, and then they
And it
will
might
be able
not
to
even
see
come
other
back
people.
to us.
It may not.
Hopefully
We're
it comes back
we're
to
actually
us.
lucky when that
Yeah.
shit comes back. It comes back to us because we own so much of each zip code. That's why we see these unfortunate problems that keep happening, is because we do own such a giant piece of the market share. So it's a good thing it comes back to the team, but it's crummy when we have to pay for it twice. And it's even worse, honestly, like the payment sucks, but dude, I hate the fact that we have to have any internal strife because shit wasn't taken care of. You know what I mean? Especially the worst part is, like with her, like she's actively speaking and showing that person homes. And then it comes on another site, like it's a new lead. It's not a new lead, man.
But that's
They
the
gotta
thing,
do better.
that's what we're trying to like establish too. If you see notes within the last
Yeah.
30 days
Exactly.
of someone, then you should be calling that other person. If you see notes from December, that's yours now.
Right.
Because
Right.
that 30-day period is over.
Yeah.
So like
You have-
nobody is gonna, if I pick up a phone call and you have notes in there from December, I'm not calling you. I'm not. That's my lead now. Like, I'm just letting you know, like, that's how I am approaching it because, but if it says that if you were talking to them a week ago, hell yeah, I'm gonna be like, yo, your client's confused, cause
Right.
Yeah,
here you go.
because really it could just be that the client's confused. Let's not say that one of our
But if
people
we
are
get them
fucking up.
re-engaged
Yeah.
and
We
we
don't know.
get them out in the field, maybe y'all were not a good match. Maybe
Right.
but for
Right.
whatever reason that didn't happen at the time. So we gotta try it again with a new teammate
Yeah.
to see if we can at least keep it in the team. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and which is honestly, which is a-okay. Like, remember, like, not everybody likes everybody, except for April. Everybody likes April. But I mean, what I'm saying is, you know, sometimes that'll happen. The good thing about having a lot of, a lot of leads and a lot of resources is that, you know, sometimes when that shit does happen, we can say, alright, fuck it, man, I'm moving up.
If I can't convert it, I want y'all to. I
Yes,
want you
exactly.
to.
I
You
want
know what I
food.
mean? Like,
I want food on
it's
our
not a
table.
steady-
Even if it's not on my plate, I want it on our
Team
table.
success is my success. That's how I see it. And if everybody's got to see it like that, you know what I mean?
I think
Like,
you do.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, but Beth had something to say.
actually, yeah, Beth, and then, Kate too.
So I just actually wanted to comment on what we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
When I look in my Zillow, they are not communicating because,
Okay.
when I look at.
And let me stop you real quick. When you're looking at Zillow and Fog, in which piece are they not?
Like when you're saying, when you text them from your, from Zillow.
Yes, yeah,
It
okay.
re-ups my agent relationship. Like when I go in and I look at a client in my Zillow contact,
Yes.
it says my last communication, it's different than what it says in front of me.
Oh, okay.
So,
If you do email, it would probably be the same, because our emails are the same on Zillow and Club. Instead of a text message.
Yeah, but nobody's fucking, I don't wanna revert back to emails. Not a lot of people communicate.
Well, just if it's a restart, if it's just a restart.
No, I get it. I'm trying not to have extra steps for us. I think you're right. I do think you're right. Alright, so let me think about this like this. If we have a system that doesn't integrate with the other one, which is shit, which is literally shit, with one of the most important pieces of the relationship being, so it's also the whole thing being my agent relationships, then we have got to, do we have to fucking stick with the Zillow app as the texting tool and then Fob as every other piece?
Which is, this is the often.
And
I
that
don't
is somebody-
want
That's
that.
our phone number
Like our
to
clients been
our
using
clients.
zillion phone numbers for us.
Okay.
We already get
All right,
pushed
enough.
our
I
Okay.
can't do that.
We won't.
Sorry.
We won't. I know, I'm just trying to figure, we don't,
Yeah.
what's it?
Like, I low-key hate fuck for this.
Yeah,
I feel
Yeah.
like I know that we were apprehensive at first, but then I felt like we were really gung-ho, and I just don't feel like this integration is strong enough. And it honestly feels like a fucking waste of money to me, and I believe in FUB, but not in this counteractive
I believe in fun for the nurture and the relationships that we've already cultivated. What
And
what
I
I'm not
like
seeing
it.
it useful for is what I'm doing right here, right now.
Right,
Well,
and
because
why are
Zillow,
we doing systems?
Zillow has bent over, because Zillow is like, you're gonna go through our apps and you're gonna do all of this, and you know what I mean, like, Zillow is, this is
They're
the
holding
hard
the
part.
cards.
They hold the cards, they hold us hostage with our own information, yes, because there are listings. It's tough, Zillow,
Can you
And I-
reach out to Zillow and see if you could get the same access that you do with FUB?
Yeah, this was supposed to
Right.
be, actually, this was the whole integration, this was the whole pilot.
Is there a
training.
way that we can use the same phone number for both?
Hey, that's actually a smart idea. Can you change your phone number in FUB? That's the
I believe
question.
you have.
I
No.
don't think you can.
Well, I can change the phone number, but once I change the phone number, it changes for everybody.
Oh, because it's a one.
It's one,
line.
yeah.
Gives us-
And the thing is like what you were talking about, how you have to like go and look if you have messages or whatever. That's what I like about FUB. To me, it's like a separate messaging app. I mean, I never miss anything on FUB because it
Right.
immediately,
You know, okay,
it only
then
sends
you
me
know-
messages.
Then you know what it is? It's a best practice thing.
Yeah.
It's how we have to work around.
Right.
Okay, so these parameters of the system are simply, they're not gonna be flexible. They are what they are, they're delineated, they're zeros and ones, binary code. So what we have to do then is think about how do we work around the one aspect that's not,
We have 30 days to establish.
And really, the whole fucking thing here is,
So don't rely on re-engaging
Yeah.
automatically through that text. Make it
So
a point, make it
so
a
basically,
mission
if we
within
wanna
that 30
keep
days
up-
to establish that.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
maybe every Monday at a certain time, everybody goes through and
Yeah.
just
bang it out. I just did a bunch.
The problem is,
So
if
really,
you
you're
find
absolutely right, you're absolutely right, Jake.
Well, how about this, if you've been working with someone for like 2 weeks, and you know that's your person, then next time you see them, bring it up right there, right then, to,
Yeah, in person.
hey, listen, I wanna do something for you, really quick, I think it's gonna help this out, make it easier for us. How do you wanna practice a picture, and then make answers right there?
And maybe you just think about Follow Up Boss being more of a nurture app and Zillow being
The active.
your active buyers, because
But they're using it regularly. I would say, use my agent relationship on your showings. I would bring it up. I would have like a couple of different ways that I would bring it up, and I'd make it really smooth. I'd be like, if we're in a house and we like it, I'd be like, did you see, this other house, or what are you seeing on Zillow? You know what? Let's make this easier. Why don't I send you this email right now, and then I'll be able to see what if you like something on Zillow, you can heart it. It'll give me a little bit of a better idea what you're looking for.
but then you've gotta engage
But
with the
then
app.
you've gotta
Because
look
if they
at what
say
they're looking
that,
at.
right, you've made that promise, now you gotta be reaching out to them based on what they're doing on
And you have to do
Zillow.
it in a Zillow app. It's,
That's what
This
I'm
is
Okay,
saying.
but really, here's the deal, I think everybody can continue using the system the way you want to. There's just one step that we need here, which is the my agent relationship. If we just have the my agent relationship, this 30-day thing and all this, it doesn't fucking matter.
I think it's just a matter
The
of
reason
making
I'm
it
talking
happen.
about the 30-day thing is because some of you don't have, you haven't got them yet,
Yeah.
right? We haven't got them in the first 30 days. After those first 30 days, and that damn person comes open to anyone.
Wait a minute, can't we start doing, I need JC to show us, we're trying to do it. He sends the My Agent link, couldn't we go through our follow-up boss, like who you're showing homes and send them maybe batch email with your link, that might be the easiest.
It's your profile.
So it's actually really super
Oh,
simple.
that's
It's
not
just
bad.
Zillow.com/Al Schmidt. That's it.
Well, that just shows in your profile, it doesn't show.
But that profile has the thing right there where you can actually,
Just say.
it has the my agent relationship, where you can click it right there. There might be
There's a
another
separate email,
hyperlink that
there's a
goes
separate-
one beyond
Yeah,
that.
there's a
Just
separate
brings it.
email for that, though.
Okay.
You need to just show me how to do it,
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, you could, yeah, because actually, I think sending two separate ones would be best, actually, because the first one you initially send is something to your profile, just saying, here's who I am, here's my contact information. So the second one would have to have some type of hyperlink associated with it, or an extraneous link
Jay,
associated
would you click on
with it.
some link that somebody sends you, right, or your agent sends you?
Would I? Fuck yeah. Right.
No,
A person you
no.
haven't really met though, like if you were talking.
No,
first little
but
while-
that, this is a contact card, man, of course I would, it's a contact card. Now, I wouldn't create a my agent relationship with someone I didn't know yet, unless I had a great relationship with them, so I do agree with you there, man. That's why we have 30 days to establish that.
And couldn't you just word it like in a better attempt to service you, in an attempt to service you better, clicking, this will be a direct link to me that will alert me on any properties, speaking it right away for showing.
That's a great value. Yeah, because that's a value proposition. When you say things like that, you're providing value. Remember, we know that we're doing this because we want them to stick with us, but we don't need to say that to them. What we need to say that to them is give them a reason for why they should stick with us. Hey, now I'm your direct person, I'm gonna be linked with all the stuff that you click so I can see exactly what's going on. That way we can stay on the pulse together. So I think if you propose it like that, then you're in much better shape. But it's gotta be two separate things, and you just said that, right? Hey Beth, I wanna go back to you just for 1 second. You said, so you have somebody on your page right now.
Yeah.
And you go there and you said, I communicated with them maybe 2 days ago, my relationship's gonna end in a different amount of days. If that's fucking true, then what they said is actually bullshit. The 30-day thing isn't real.
to me,
Or the
Zillow is a
30-day
necessary evil, because I think Zillow is bullshit, but it's a necessary evil, so I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with you. And I'd rather fuck with you than fuck with FUB, although I think that FUB is a way better system and way more applicable, but like, Zillow has got us by the ass. And it sucks because I don't think they're transparent, and I think they're full of shit, I think they're salespeople,
Yeah,
but
they've
it is
been
what
ja-
it fucking
been jamming me up
is.
a little bit lately. But I don't want
There's
to
nothing
switch
to do.
mindset. I don't want to switch mindset. At the end of the day, you guys make very good money off it.
Right, we need
Well-
it, so we have to use it, so I'm gonna play by your rules. There's certain things I'm gonna do what I have to do, whether I fucking hate you or not.
Because people have fought there's tons
Every
of
single
realtors
person
that have
lost.
fought Zillow and have been like, I'm not buying that,
And you
fuck
lose.
that.
And
You
you
lose,
lose.
you lose, your team loses,
They're
everyone
on
loses.
Facebook talking about it every day.
Every
That's
single
what they do.
day, every single day, but they're not talking about their money.
They're not.
I couldn't do this job without Zillow.
Oh, fuck no.
part-timers for years before you build a fucking
Exactly.
business.
So I mean, I think it's about deciding whether or not we're gonna integrate, like, this is, while it may be more work, this is the best practice. And I still think that, I was just talking to you guys about it today, like, about building a day, like, what does the best practices of an agent look like, and how far off the mark are you? And if this is what it is, as much as it's fucking annoying, as much as it's not streamlined, if we're saying operate within FUB, but continue to go back and ask for my agent relationship in Zillow.
That's exactly what we're
It is what it is, and it's not curing cancer, it's checking 2 fucking apps.
But then, and the extra app you're checking is pretty minimal. I mean, you don't really gotta dig the fuck into it. I just don't wanna lose these things. And more important, I don't wanna lose them for you guys either, man. Especially if you're working really fucking hard with somebody, and then they see the shiny new fucking joint, dude. As soon as you see the shiny shit.
You don't have to check off that, right? You just send them the link, they click it, and then you get a notification.
Well, as soon as you got the my agent, you're done.
Yeah, so there's nothing, it's just really one thing, you're sending one text.
It's just a new habit, that's a new
Which,
habit.
by the way, you
It
don't
is,
even,
it's literally just one new habit.
which by the way, you don't even need that link, you don't even need to go to the app, you have the link on your phone. So you don't even need to go to the Zillow app to get the link to send it to them, it can literally already be a shortcut on your phone.
Can you
There's
find
no
that
extra
for
step.
Kaylee, are you about to say something helpful?
I don't know, probably not. But I have a question that you might have already answered. I just wanna know,
Yeah.
like, when
I
you're
just don't-
texting them from Zillow, what phone number is that? Is that our personal? Is that a third generated one?
So-
It's just their
Those are
generation.
my agent relationships.
Okay.
However, somehow Zillow gives out my cell phone half the time, they text me, I don't know how much.
I don't either.
Every time I'm with the connection, like, they can't hear me, they call me back to my personal line, Zillow sends them my personal.
I know, I don't know how it works.
Really?
Yeah,
I get both, I get both.
That's new, I never knew that they could.
Every once in a while, I know, they call in on my home phone, they call in on my cell phone, but then I still have people who refer me, who I always talk to in the Zillow app, so when they refer me, they call into my Zillow line, and it establishes them as a contact, right in my thing right away, so like, I don't have any clue how they're doing that. It seems like a mess. Does everyone feel like they could benefit from, like, we talk about best practices all the time, if we put those things down on paper so you could see, because I do feel like we establish a new best practice every meeting. It's like,
Well, that's because we're creating this from scratch, is why. Nobody gave us a fucking playbook, that's why we're creating it as we go along.
right,
It
right,
is.
I guess I'm gonna have to make a flyer.
Make a flyer,
Make it fun.
It's already made the flyer.
Yeah, it's already a great year.
I made it 3 years ago, I knew this was happening.
Alright, so after all that conversation, what we have is this. Continue on, follow up boss is your main joint. And just have to do one thing extra from today. Work on grabbing the My Agent relationship, which has to be sent through the Zillow app. That's it. After all of this conversation, this is what we boiled down to, because we can't do the texting as a backup thing for 30 days, because apparently what Beth has showing over there, is it more, please, can you show that truth for more than one client?
I can look.
I just looked at it too.
Is it the
I
same?
mean, I only did one,
Are
yeah,
you seeing the same?
Yes.
Okay, so as of right now, I'm thinking that, I don't even think that it extends 30 days with this. Because both of them have proof right now that they've texted through the Zillow app
And got a response.
and it did not give them an additional 30 days.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like,
I wonder if they got rid of that.
Or
These
I wonder
fucks
if
have to
it's
let us
after
know
your
what's going
30
on,
days.
so when they change things, that we're not giving antiquated shit and banging our head against the wall.
Or thinking we're getting something we're not getting by doing what we told.
what's up, Kate?
Okay. Yeah, Kate, thank you, sorry.
What I've been trying to say is I have a really high
Well, sorry, you are absolutely.
I have a really high work with rate, but I've never once texted anyone from Zillow, and all of my follow-up boss and Zillow are correct, and like everything is adding up. The only people that maybe possibly are expiring soon are people that I haven't even really connected with. I've maybe met with once, they're not like serious or like they're not really interested in working with me, but everything's pretty accurate. And I have a high
Okay.
rate, and I've never messaged people or asked them to confirm or anything. Like it seems like it's like kind of auto generated for me. So that's why I
I wonder if it depends on when
She
you
does.
become a.
Is it, I wonder if it's just too much data?
Yeah.
Like, and the more data that comes into here, the more it gets skewed or the more it gets fucking glitchy.
Right, they come in with a phone number, they forget, like, you gotta think about it, like, they forget their Zillow password, they create a new account.
Right.
Cause have you ever gotten like somebody's name, but then you get another call from them another time with their email?
Yes.
Like, it's all this user error shit, like, they create new accounts, they call in from their, or they like write in from their wife's account, they like, there's all this all over the place, you know? I have 3 different couples right now, I talk to all of them in my Zillow account, and I talk to husband and wife on different lines, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be that for now, but we have a couple qualifying questions that we have to send, which is that the phone text versus Zillow text, it does not look like the my agent relationship continues for 30 days. We have mixed data. We have 2 agents saying that it is not the same. We have 1 that says it is. So if that system is glitchy, we can get around it by just creating the fucking my agent relationship.
Yeah.
Once again, it's boiling down to the my agent relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I'm don't get me wrong, this was not a waste of a half hour speaking this through.
No.
I need this. This is really why we do this, these type of meetings here, to really dig into the details. So I'm happy to hear that. And is everyone happy with their follow-up boss, the way that they're using it? And is this a good tool? Should I be spending $25,000 a year on this
I
for
would be
us?
lost without it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally.
Oh, all right, and if it works, I'm staying with it. Because I can tell you, I was literally almost like forced onto it. This was years that Oliver was like, come on, man. He's like, we just buy, like every other top team in the country. You know, there's one point where we were at like 5 years ago, like 56 million, where we didn't have a fucking CRM. Like, no, we just were like, oh, they're just gonna sell some homes, man.
We were just literally
Like-
run out.
So this is good though, but this data is nice because it allows me to help, and I really, like, the data is really helping, like, with some of our one-on-ones, when I've sat with people, like, I've really been able to identify some pieces and be like, oh shit, and having those aha moments because of the data, so I'm happy with it.
I will say on a previous team, when we used Follow Up Boss, we literally didn't ever open, look, touch the Zillow app at all. We had to download it onto our phones, but I never opened it up one single time. We only operated out of Follow Up Boss, and we didn't have like a lingering problems. We did not also have the sheer amount of leads though. So I think that
The
complicates
volume
the
is
issue.
so different here. I do think though, you know what, I will say, just as a sort
But
of
just,
parting thought.
sorry, just one second,
Yeah.
but did you hear what she said? There was no problems, because everybody used the same thing.
Right.
And if we had a problem, we were able to fix it because you guys knew, oh shit, I got that. I've seen that before, because it's the same type of people stuff. Sorry to interject, I'm just saying, that's why I went by it, I'm justice.
But I think that if you are slow and you're not getting the business that you want, or you feel like your leads aren't coming in, like your shift, you get a slow shift, you get like whatever, you have a little bit of time, and you're thinking to yourself like, what the fuck can I do? What the fuck can I do? Manipulate all these fucking apps and make them work for you. Like, figure, like, become that fucking person who like has got all the app hacks. You know what I mean? Like, do whatever you can.
I think what I'm
You know,
really
like-
myself, now that we've been in this the last couple weeks, is what I talked about last week is I've got like 700 something contacts. I need to take nurture and put it in a few different nurture sections.
Oh, I agree with you.
I feel
100%.
overwhelmed
It's
when I
good.
have a day like that. I'm like, I'm gonna really clean up the people I haven't talked to in a while, and then I'm like, never mind. It's kind of like, you know, you go into your room and it's a mess, and you're like, I'm just not gonna do anything. You know, like I need a better system because I feel overwhelmed with all the people I have.
Okay, you
So
know how
maybe
you know how
engage
you know how we
people
can help
for
with
the
that?
last 60 days, or just
A best practice list, literally.
Yeah.
That will help, because whenever we can feel overwhelmed, what helps us get back on track? The list and the lines, like, okay, I can do this first, and then we start to feel good because I'm checking shit off, and I'm like, cool, I got a few
Yes.
things.
Well,
I think that's really what we
Can't
need.
do it in
I think so
stages
too.
though, because then that's gonna mess up Zillow, so
But I
we have
thought
to
they-
take action.
I thought though that someone said that we can create a new stage, like nurture 60 days, nurture whatever. Like I need
So
to organize
there's
my
a, so here's the deal. We can create anything.
Okay.
So each person has different templates which should have a name, correct me if I'm wrong. Action plans, if they're individualized, should have the person's name next to them, right? Okay, So if you wanted to do things like that, now she's done a great job of creating bases
Maybe when I still
bases
next
and
week,
stuff.
I can,
So
like Friday, oh, Friday.
what you cannot do is go into somebody's action plan and modify it, but you can copy it
Oh,
and
we
then
can't
modify.
modify any of them anyways. We gotta,
Oh,
if you
okay.
wanna modify.
Alright, I just wanna make sure
then
nobody's-
Katie.
Okay, but here's what we will do. You are 100% able to make any type of modifications that you need to do based on your lifestyle and your business, the way you want to run it. However, I'm sorry, not however, but what you want to do is take a look at the plans that are in there, see what exists already, and be like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, this one's 90% of everything I need.
Right.
And then we could say, hey Katie, grab this, just add these few pieces please, copy and paste this, and add these couple pieces and put my name near it.
There's really good white local ones. So like if you go into the admin section of FUB and then look at action plans, you can click through and read the entire action.
Oh yeah, because White Local made some to start with, right? Hey, yeah, by the way, guys,
Can
you
you
don't
change
have to
the name
create
of
everything from fucking
For
scratch.
yourself on your own phone? Can you change the name of that?
No.
So
The
like,
action plan or?
No, I would have to recreate it.
She
and
just
put my name
got,
on
that's
it.
okay though, because you create it at home, but just let her know what you wanna call it. That's it. Yeah, so the reason why is because we wanna have just one person making overall changes to the whole system.
Yeah.
So,
but if in your FUB account, can't
Yeah.
you create things for yourself that are
Not
different
action
than everybody else?
but it's not.
yes, everything but an action plan, because an action plan is a main pool of data that everybody has access to. So the reason we wouldn't want everybody going in there and just haphazardly modifying the main
But
basis
is there a
ones.
way to add or change the name of a stage? Because how
There
I,
definitely is.
Well, but then it won't.
Then it doesn't-
sync with Zillow.
Right.
So that's, so here's, this
So
is, you know
this
what,
is why
last
you
year, I remember doing this last year. So this is what we did last year. Those names have to be the same to correlate to one, but you can put on the one, can't you have like a synonym of whatever you wanted it to say? So say, it's showing homes, but then you wanted it to say, so showing homes here, but showing homes to you meant something else, then you'd have to just identify what that synonym was. And that's the shitty part about it, is you can't make a custom one because the custom pieces won't talk to one
Truth
another.
of the matter is that you can do any fucking thing in FUB that you want.
Correct.
The problem is that we have to have it correlate to, like, the way that you wanna use FUB works the way you want it to work, it just doesn't work for
But
the
you can't
communication.
change the stage names, but if you wanted to create an action plan and label it like nurture whatever, and with your name on it, then you could potentially apply that different action plan to each nurture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not really- and then just- Right,
Stage.
right. You can label different nurture action
So it can
plans.
still be
That's why you
the
need to see.
Zillow nurture in the overall, but underneath it, it's running my
Different action
nurture in one code.
Right, right.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When they went and like integrated the systems into follow box, like I wasn't here for that. So I feel like my follow box is a mess.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually gonna dump mine and then re-import everything because my Zillow is so good. And then I'm gonna start and I'm actually gonna like every day like complete the tasks. Like I have to start fresh with it. And not in a place where I can continue to like beat up. It doesn't feel
I
good
think,
here.
I think that's the best way to do it. You probably should do the same thing.
Are you good at follow box?
I feel like I would actually be better if I started out
Okay,
fresh like that.
everybody
Because
at
I'm so good at
Planacon,
Zillow.
we were not here when they inputted the stuff. And so all of ours are perpetually messy. And if you are sitting here and you're like old school, you've been here for a minute and you were here when we did this, and you feel like follow up box, like you listen to it and you go, yeah, I hear you guys. I literally can't ever do that.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're not a part of this conversation, I am going to dump mine entirely. I'm talking to one client in Follow Boss because I was like trying to do this thing to make people happy, but I wasn't doing it for me, and it has to be for me.
Right.
I'm gonna dump Follow Boss and then I'm gonna re-import everything. Everything will be in its correct lead status, and I'm gonna start fresh. And if you are in the weeds in Follow Boss, if none of this is applicable because everything is such a train wreck, admit defeat. dump it, start fresh. Don't you feel like you could use it if you did it that way?
Yeah, but
I would love to do that.
I think it's
so
We're looking into
No,
no,
these are all in Zillow.
You don't lose anything.
Don't even dump it right.
Here's what you say. If you're one of the few folks who have not embraced the follow-up boss for the last 6 months or a year, just admit defeat, like you fucked up, but you've also said, I want this better. So this is where we're at right now, and this is exactly what she's saying. And I'm telling you right now, I 100% embrace this idea.
Right, we've been talking about this for 2 months
Yeah.
about how I'm like phasing out of what I'm doing in Follow Up Boss because I'm not using it entirely. It's a waste to me, but it's such a good organizational tool. I swear to you,
I agree.
I'm with you that it blows, but it didn't blow for me when I started with it on day one on a different team. The first day I had it, it didn't suck for me then.
Yeah, because you're
And that's why
constantly
And that's
fighting.
why everyone
Now,
else feels comfortable.
Danny, this is not for you, because you've
No,
had this
but
from me.
I just got me thinking on a whole other.
Okay, sure.
So, call comes in, we connect, I'm talking with so-and-so on follow-up boss, whatever, they take a break, we don't talk for however long. That my agent relationship breaks in Zillow. Their contact's not gonna be in my Zillow anymore, right?
It's still there.
Your contact stays with you.
Forever, no matter what?
They might not be reaching, they're
Unless
not
you
reaching
get
out
rejected.
to you, but they are still in there.
They're still in my.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I never dumped my follow-up boss, so all of the connections I've ever gotten from Zillow are in my follow-up boss.
But
No, I've
Danny, you wanna
never
know why
talked to
though?
them in
But
Zillow.
you started fresh as fuck
Yeah.
with Amber, so you don't have the problems that our other buds have. So that's why that's why I'm literally telling you, because you've never done what we did, you embrace exactly what you're supposed to do from fucking day one. That's why you don't have the feelings that they have for you. And in their defense, they were already using something else that they were comfortable for. But in the team's defense, we all need to be on the same page.
To connections calling back in after there's been a break in communication for a while, then if I'm going nurturing through my follow-up boss and I'm connecting with them through email or text
Yeah.
message or whatever, but that my agent relationship's been broken in Zillow, they call in or they see something they like in Zillow and they get reconnected, not realizing it's not gonna come to me because maybe we haven't talked in 6 months, but they got a push email from my nurture or something.
Mhm. Well, here's the deal, if they really do, and you do, since you do have these push notifications and stuff, the idea is that they won't just haphazardly call someone else. They've only taken a break, they didn't take a break from you as a human, they took a break from the shopping, right? So them not taking a break from you, you having YLOCO and follow-up
And
us,
the
still
white local
engaging in
nurture,
them.
that stuff still pushes through. always,
Exactly,
even
exactly,
the-
so,
even the-
yeah, so you don't lose.
Yeah.
So if that's what you were wondering, do I lose this because I don't have my agent relationship? The answer is no. In fact, that's what keeps them when the fucking my agent relationship has expired. You're still on there because without it, then you're really fucking hard.
But this circles back to what we were talking about on Monday, where like we were talking about how the old school agents use postcards and we have to have something that we do, because I think that's the piece that we're not using. We don't talk to people for 3 to 6 months.
This is like a digital post.
Now we
This is like
need
your postcard.
something, so it's either,
Just much
I mean, we've gotta have like an email, a text, something that comes out en masse to say like, don't forget about me,
Yes.
you know?
And
And
Dan,
that's what the
you are
postcard
doing
did.
it. You are doing it. You're literally doing it. So that your fears right now are honestly should be quelled as low as possible because you're literally doing everything that you could do to keep these people alive. And 9 out of 10 times they are gonna come back to you every time. There's gonna be one person that like me that's gonna be ooh butterfly and walk away.
I do,
But-
I gotta get better at it.
I have a question. So like, say that they call from Zillow, whatever, cause I have a bunch of people that are like taking a pause right now, but not from me, just from.
Yeah, just from shopping.
They're all, I have so many notes in Follow Up Boss, I
Great.
literally have their parents' names, whatever, everything.
Great.
whatever. But, so if someone else gets connected to them, they search their contact through Follow Up Boss to message them or
They'll
to
see
call
you.
them. They're gonna see all my information, but they're gonna see that I haven't maybe talked to them in a couple months or something. So then what's like the standard on that? You know what I mean?
That's a good
They see how many notes I have, they see that I,
Okay, now
Maybe
this
reach
is
out
this
to
is a
see
little
like
different
how-
from what Amber said earlier. Okay, so this is what I do. If you have now two separate things. If you got a call, right? If you got a call, but you've never left any notes and you've never had anything, that's free fucking game. However, if I was to get a call and one of my I can see that my partner had talked to this person for months through notes and things, then I would even if that person hasn't talked to them in a few months, I would at least have the courtesy to say, hey, I did see that you were working with Kate before. Looks like you were working with her for a couple months. Is that a relationship that you would like to continue? Did you just call through Zillow to maybe get her? I would do that at that point.
Yeah.
That's different
That's
from
a good idea.
what we were saying
The other
earlier.
thing, but what Jay was saying from the very beginning,
If you have a management
get the
relationship,
my agent relationship.
they don't have
Then
they
you
can't
don't
call
have to worry
anyone
about it.
else.
So they're
They
not taking a
literally
break
can't,
from you,
but
they're
we're
just
here.
taking a break from shopping. If you say, totally understand, let's connect in, 3 to 6 months, whenever it is that you're looking for, I'm gonna send you a link to this my agent relationship. When you're ready, then you can start re-engaging with me again, because I don't wanna bug you, I don't wanna bother you, I don't wanna pressure you. So let me just send this to you, and then when you're ready again, we'll hit right back up again.
And the last thing I would say about that is be like, hey, and you know what? I know you don't want to be bugged by 100 different people, because
Yeah.
you know as soon as you click that button, you're gonna have a bunch of people calling.
Right.
At least then, if we have a my agent relationship, this actually protects. Say this protects you from being bothered by a bunch of other agents that you didn't want to be bothered by.
Yeah, I think-
That's a pretty good
I
fucking
think
ending
it's
to that.
different too, because I started on Follow Up Boss, so like,
Yeah.
my, as you guys were saying, like, mine's pretty like organized and
Yeah.
like, whatever, but, I have a lot of like foreigners that create multiple profiles, and that's what I'm running into lately, is like multiple Zillow profiles.
Yeah, because it's like their son creates it, the daughter creates
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
they somehow are all getting back to me, I don't know how, but,
They may have a similar phone number
Yeah.
or a similar email, and they do see that. Once they see any of those things that are
like
the
a
same,
husband and wife, like 2 Zillow profiles, like,
So if we were operating on like absolute best practice, if you're looking like what would the absolute best agent on the planet be doing, you'd be creating a tag for pause, and then you'd be occasionally sending out an email to those people being like ready to press play, or like
Yeah.
something clever that you had in your mind
that's pretty good.
that you know what I mean, like a go-to like phrase, like something, that you would send. You would create so many tags. You'd have a group for people looking in this area, this zip code, people who are taking a pause, people who are looking for somebody else, people who are looking for a vacation. You would tag the fuck out of everything, and that would be your best practice if you were looking for a next step to just like up your game.
yeah, and I think too, there's a difference in, people that you really don't have a relationship with, that like you've kind of just reached out to 1 or 2
Sure,
times.
Right.
yeah.
Versus like when they call through
Right.
Zillow, they probably aren't like actually.
Right, so
Committed
maybe
to
I've
it,
got,
going
exactly,
over.
and that's a different kind of
Yeah.
nurture lead than
It
some of
is.
the other
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what
nurture.
I'm trying
And
to
so
say.
for me, maybe you've
And
got
I
a
agree
tag
with
that
you.
says hope and a prayer, and you send out that email, and if you can convert one of those, you know what I mean, like you're like, whoa, but like I would just send emails and be like,
Yeah, absolutely.
like how come you don't miss me the way I miss you? Like whatever it is, because those people, you have no faith in that, this is just like, let me see if I can conjure something from the dead. So that's where you try out all your best material, all your best jokes, all your best reels. You send that shit to those folks and you just see what works. If
But that's
anything.
the other thing too, is like if you have this, if it's 4 months ago and I see all your notes and I see all that stuff, but it's 4 months ago, and they want to go out in the field and I book an appointment for them, I'm taking a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
here's the
there is
thing,
enough
like
things
it's not
in
enough.
place for them
It's
not to
gotta
reach out to
be,
you.
yeah, it's gotta be like a
Not
situation
reach out to
where, if you're showing somebody a house, like, just recently somebody sent me a text message that was like, hey, I saw that you worked with these guys a long time ago, whatever, and he was like, do you want them back? I was like, no man, that's yours. Go.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't make it
Whoever
happen.
whoever sent you that text was super fucking cool. I'm just saying, I actually appreciate that, but, and I understand totally
But I
where you're
also
gonna
am
come from.
like, it's not okay for me to be like, oh, you got them re-engaged?
Right, yeah, fuck that.
Send it over. Like,
No,
no,
totally.
fuck
There-
that,
There's
man.
only one exception to that when the person calls over, like, oh shit, I thought I was just calling through Zillow
Yeah.
today. That would be the one exception, and they noted that to you, that they were still trying to get hold of someone. That's totally
I
fucking
think in your
different.
mind, if it's
Totally.
like, I've got 30 days to get these people to, for whatever,
Care, yeah,
to
care.
care about me personally, I got 30 days to do that. If I got in my agent relationship, I got a year. So,
And the
Well, and I
urgency of
think
that,
that
I really care.
it's gotta come to me naturally, right? Like I had clients that I was out showing houses and they were like, yeah, I mean like it doesn't, we were working with a guy, maybe you know him, Kevin. And I was like, I do know him. And then I said, which I'm not gonna extend that courtesy to people outside here. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're working with, you know, whoever,
Mr. X on the street,
like,
yeah.
do you wanna keep working with, like, no, but I did say, like, do you wanna keep working with Kevin? Are you enjoying your relationship with Kevin? He's a great dude, we're totally different. Do you have a preference? And whatever they had said in that moment, I mean,
That's
I would
what-
have gone with.
Well, yeah,
You
Absolutely.
know?
I
That's the
think-
right way to do it, man.
I think going to someone else on the team obviously is better, especially if you know that like maybe I'm not gonna be able to like really close a deal, seal the deal on this person, maybe someone else on the team could. And that's when like, I don't know.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
That's when I feel like even bringing someone else in to
Totally.
maybe to like save it, it's like at least we're close.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that would be
completely
wonderful.
agree.
I think so
it's
too,
great.
and I also like, I was just talking to another teammate recently and they were like, I don't know, I feel like this person is getting frustrated with me, and I'm like, if you want me to take them out on one, I will. If we can, and I'll kick half of it to you, like whatever. Like if you feel like
Just to
for
save
whatever reason you're not able to like this
Just worry
person
about it.
has a personality that's really different for yours that you were like, you know, April will call me sometimes and she'll be like, oh, I have this client and they'd be absolutely fucking perfect for you, like totally
If I
fucking
have a perfect,
arrogant guy who like, you know, whatever.
this guy needs to get
This
kicked in
guy-
the dick.
He
Got your
thinks he's
boots.
a know-it-all.
Put your boots on, let's go.
Yeah, April would be like, he thinks he's a know-it-all, and you would just like completely like be able to, you know, overwhelm him with facts to the point where he's just like, okay, finally I concede. Maybe I'm not a fucking expert. She calls me and says that all the time. And you know, if like, and we've had situations where we've gone out together on things where we were like, I don't know, I feel like I'm losing them, I feel like I'm whatever. And we're like, we'll go out together.
I felt
Fuck
it. I was like, I'm losing someone. This was like last year. I said, I'm losing her. She's getting totally overwhelmed by the market. She can't land a house in Tonawanda. I feel like I'm losing her. I get her back out to another house. We see another house. A week later, she texts me and says, I'm buying my house for my neighbor. And I was like, I fucking knew I was losing her. I knew it. Like
Which
she
is
wasn't.
no fault
It
of
wasn't
yours,
like
I mean.
right. It was an off-market deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't
But
my
at least she
fault.
told you, which is
But
nice.
when you
But
know,
she could feel
right,
it.
when you can feel it
Use
happening,
use it.
bring in someone else. And if anything can't be done, I mean, like, Katie was trying to steal a client off of a friend. She had a friend who was a realtor. So when you do that, you bring the guns. And who's the guns? More people. More people. This is what we can do. And if you're not going to go with us, then you were never leaving that agent.
Then fuck
Yeah.
us.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
You know?
Yeah, we have too much diversity and too much knowledge here for somebody not to pick someone in this fucking room.
And if,
Like, I mean, it's
yeah.
impossible that you can't like at least one person
We
in
also
this room.
have to, I had to like let go of taking everything personal because
Yeah.
some people just call into Zillow for that showing because their agent's out of town or whatever.
100%.
And I need to stop taking that. I get upset, like they didn't even have respect to check
You-
me, but
you
I spent the
literally
weekend. You can't. You gotta
You're the
let it go
shit.
and
If
move
people don't
on.
like you, then like
Well,
they're
and it may not
fucking
even be about
fundamentally flawed.
you. They're just
It-
sucking
right.
people.
You know, if they do suck, and that doesn't mean you do. And it also like you do win a little bit here. You win in the fact that you are now able to identify when people are using it. Because there's very small nuance from using and loving. Like as weird as that is.
No, right.
So, but the more you get through this, and the more it sucks, the more you're able to identify. So you actually can thank them for thank you for allowing me.
And
to
you might have
increase my
saw a
skill set.
house in a price range you normally don't see, or you
Right,
learned
so-
something about a basement. That's what I have to tell myself every time I leave one of
It
those.
was your
Yes.
shot to get
Yes.
that one. The house
And that's
had to be the
mindset,
right
man.
house.
That's mindset. That's
Right.
the way to do it. Yep.
You may be able to take them if they're willing to do that one house with you, and they'll buy that one house today
Yes.
while their agent's out of town. That's your shot. And if it
Oh, yeah.
doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and that's all right. You gave it your shot. You know.
Dude, because sometimes that shit hits. And
Sometimes
it's
it works.
really good.
You show that house and you're like, man, they didn't like it. This is perfect for my other
Yes,
client.
yes,
You
I've
put
had
it
that
down,
happen.
I got a house for you.
Yes.
You know what I
And
mean?
if we were
Negative.
really
This is
operating
great.
above the way that we needed to be, like this is this is where we're trying to get to. Because if we
Yes.
were operating on these systems like this, if we were all on one page, one team, one unit doing this together, then we would feel okay to pass on a buyer that maybe you're just like, they're not well suited for me. It's not working, but I don't want to let go of anything. But if we were operating like that, you could be like, well, you give me one when it's my turn. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it could be symbiotic. Everybody
Yes.
could get theirs. You know.
Yes, agreed.
I will say this,
Agreed.
two things. Number one, if you bring me on something, I'll split it with you 50-50. If you feel like, you know what I mean, I'm like, well shit, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have had it without you, and
You
you
wouldn't
don't
have it
wanna make
without you.
0%, so fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, if you bring me in on something, I'll give you 50%, and you
Absolutely.
can stay home on your couch, I'll go show houses, fuck it. Fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, because you're really good at engaging leads, and I'm really good at sealing the deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck it, like, we'll be a team together.
Yeah, and with the one we shared, we both got a review. You know?
100%, so it's like, shit, like, whatever, you know?
Hell,
But then the other thing too, I think, is that we have to sometimes remember to think about this process from the perspective of the person calling in from Zillow. I have gone to car dealerships and had a wonderful experience with someone, walked off of their lot, went to somebody else and purchased a car. It had nothing to do with how I felt about that person. It was what I felt
That
like
car was
somebody
better.
else
That was
had
perfect.
this, yeah. And they don't always understand that they can take us with them. They don't always understand that, right? They go to an open house or whatever, they meet an open house host who's real charming and real great and is willing to like, oh, I can write this offer up for you right today. They don't always understand. So like, it's not, I remember the first time I ever clicked a link on Zillow before I was ever a realtor. And I went out with this person, and he showed me a house, and he was a real slob, and I was like, there's no way in the world I'm gonna be working with this guy. And then I worked with somebody else. I didn't think at the time that I had done anything to this guy. I had no idea how this worked. I felt like I had fulfilled my obligation. I clicked a link, he called me, I met him at the house, he met me, obligation fulfilled. I made an appointment with you and I kept that appointment with you. That is all I thought I needed to do, right? And so I don't know that I think we need to explain more about what we can do for people, you know?
Yes.
I can show you, a lot of times they don't understand. How many times has somebody said to you, can you show a house that's not yours? Can you show something that's not how it is? This one is listed by Hunt, so I was gonna call the Hunt agent. Like, we hear that all the time, guys. So it's like, if we do a better job of explaining, right? Like, if we leave that one house and we say, like, listen, I can show you anything. I show homes, I show homes I tell people, like, Niagara County, Erie County, like, wherever it is, I can show it to you. Anything that you're interested in, if we take just a couple extra minutes to like explain what we can do with them, then maybe they're more likely.
I think a lot of
to
people
us.
think they have to pay us too. So I think when you explain how that process works as
Yeah,
a buyer, that's.
the seller of the house that just listed yesterday, she said, well, how much do we pay you for that?
There are others.
And when that happened with Nicole and I was it Thursday or Friday? I was showing a house that was already kind of under contract with one of mine. These people that she talked to just popped up.
You know what?
And the only reason I showed them was because they said they were working with Nicole, because I was like, no, I don't know you, you're not coming in. They were like, well, we have an agent. Well, then wait outside. I don't know you. And so then they said, we're working with Nicole.
So that was the call during our meeting.
Yes. We were trying to come to the house. I said, no. I
It was
said,
like, I just want to be pre-approved. He didn't want to see the house.
they popped up.
But his head though, because he had requested it through Zillow, he was like, yeah, you're gonna get me pre-approved, we're awesome, but I'm still gonna see
And
this
they
through
popped up and
Zillow
was
and
trying
show
to
up
come
to
in.
the house.
And
That's
so
how that happened.
I asked them who they were working with, and I said, I knew my people weren't gonna go with it. I said, because we're on a team, let's do this. But they don't know. They didn't know. So.
And it's funny because I answered and like, how can I help at the house? And he literally was just like, I didn't get pre-approved. So I'm like, oh, he was great.
This guy expert for me.
Yeah, we're like, awesome, let's go.
Alright, cool. That doesn't
So
happen
they
much.
really don't know.
So folks, I just want to conclude here. I know we're a few minutes. We kind of go to whatever on this, but I just wanted to give some weight to. Tell me if we need extra categories or if you want to try to value this. This is what I was thinking. So out of 100%, I think 60% of it at least should be the conversion rate. That's what we're actually doing. When you have a conversion rate, the other three components I think are already going to fall into place. Because if you've converted it, then chances are you've done these other things. So and let's talk about this and kind of let me know what you think. I think 60% should be the conversion rate. 20% actually should be the my agent relationship. I wanna put a lot of fucking weight on the my agent
That makes
relationship.
sense.
Yeah, because I believe that once you have that my agent relationship, you got this fucking shit, and you're gonna get them. So that's why I wanna put a lot of weight on that, because I think that is the path to get to the
And all
conversion.
this is
So really,
starts
it's gonna
March first, anything
it
that.
started March 1st. So what we'll do is, I think at the end of April, that's when we'll do our first count. Each person will say, okay, I've got this many leads, I've converted this many. I have this many my agent relationships, and the other two components, FUB, I'm putting FUB as 10%. I just need to know that we're using it, okay? I don't expect everybody to have 50,000 points or anything. I've talked to a couple of you folks who are phasing out of where like April said, and honestly, I think we should really try to imply exactly what you're doing. If you could maybe do that with Nicole, with Darian, and anybody else who feels just over fucking whelmed, I don't know if you do or not, anybody who feels overwhelmed and just say, look, fucking wipe out FUB. Wipe it right the fuck out so it doesn't even, there's nothing in there, knowing that all of your Zillow contacts and all the information that's gonna go into FUB is still sitting in Zillow.
Right.
So then we're gonna wipe this out, we're gonna start fucking fresh. You're not gonna have to worry about, holy crap, how do I fucking backlog? And we are going to literally create a brand new best practice, and this is the time we do it. Because now we have, I'd say probably 70% of the team is fired away with FUB. I mean, and the cool thing about it is the 70% that's using it is having success with it. So now we know that there's a real value to this. It's not just a talking head saying, use the fucking system. No, that, we don't need that.
And I
We
think it
have
also just speaks to like the fact that like if there's something that's we're saying, something that Jay is asking us to do, like anything that we're doing that you're just like, I'm just gonna get really quiet about this thing because I can't, won't, don't know how, I should have known how.
So we can help.
I gotta just hide from this. Like, don't hide. I was like, listen, I already knew Follow Up Boss was coming up. Like, I already knew it. And I went and walked into my meeting. I sat right down and was like, this is my plan. It does this
Yeah, she
work.
literally came with a plan because she knew I was.
Because I knew that you want me to be doing this thing that I'm not doing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm doing. And I'm not gonna go into Follow Up Boss and make a couple changes really quick so I can just hide. I don't do tasks because Jay wants me to do tasks.
Yes,
Jay
please,
wants
no.
me to do tasks because he wants my business to be successful.
Yes.
That, you know what I mean? And so if you have a different strategy or plan, just say so, you know?
Yeah, and by the way, if you do have any alternatives, have I ever been the fucking person to just say, fuck no, don't speak, I don't want to hear you.
It's gotta be my way.
Never. I am the least, I have the least amount of ego for anything that has to be mine if it has the value of a team.
Right.
I can tell you that right now. I never have to be the person who has to be correct. I just want the correct answer. I don't care where it came from. I just want it to come internally, and I want to talk about this shit.
I thought you were gonna say I'm really combative, and I was like,
I'm not gonna say I'm the least combative. I didn't say I'm the least combative. But I just promise that if ever I ask, it's literally what you said. It's because it's literally to your benefit.
right.
I would never give you fucking busy work. I promise you.
But I can back it up. I'm like, this isn't working, but this is what I'm trying to do, and this is all my steps. Like, if you're being transparent and honest about it, it'll all pan out.
Yeah, and the great news is we are so much farther than we have ever been.
Seriously.
Like so much farther. If I knew that we could get here this fast over the course of the last few months,
Yeah.
this would have been something we could have started
Yeah.
a year ago. Because I have to be 100% honest with you. Even I was shying away from this thing because I'm like, holy
Sure.
shit, this is a big fucking project.
Yeah.
And I don't totally understand it, but
Yeah.
some people do. So holy shit, can my partners help me out? And the answer was yes.
Right.
Everybody stepped up and they were like, fuck yeah, man.
We're this close to being the best.
So we're getting really, really good. So I want to conclude with this, that I am super, super excited for the progress. I'm unbelievably proud of how everybody's helping each other out. This is the difference that's gonna get us all a great fucking life, man. If it's not great, just better, a better life. If you're great right now, I want you to be even greater. No matter where we go, I know we can improve, and we're gonna do this shit together. The last thing I just wanna say, so 60% weight on conversion rate. 20% on the my agent relationship, because I believe the my agent relationship is directly correlated with if you're gonna have the conversion. So really that's about 80% of your stuff right there. That's heavy duty. Now, the other two things that I feel are so extremely important for the success of those other two things, and we'll line up, is follow-up boss, just integration, just using of the program. You don't have to have like a million points, like I said, we just wanna make sure that you're using it. Follow-up boss is advantageous for 3 separate things. Number 1, the active clients you have. Number 2, the clients you have closed, so they don't forget about you. And number 3, the clients we have never spoke with, so we can let YLocal and everything else do its shit. The last thing is 5-star reviews. 10% on 5-star reviews. Because some of you are really getting a great notion and understanding that people are looking at your profile. So when they look at your profile, I want them to know what I know. That our people are fucking awesome. And if you are having trouble, I'm gonna keep this open for the rest of the fucking career, the rest of my career. I will call, if you guys are ever like, fuck, I'm just not getting it, something's up, I will make some calls on your behalf, and I can do it really fucking simple. I can be like, hey, I just been reviewing we had our quarterly reviews, just going over a lot of our performance reviews. It looks like you guys did an awesome job on the house, and what a beautiful house. Just wondering, sometimes we forget, because Ari's super busy, sometimes we forget about the 5-star reviews. Would you mind leaving leaving Amber, or leaving Katie, or leaving Lisa a 5-star review? Did they give you 5-star service? I would love to call, and it's a different voice calling from a different opinion. And say we don't get a 5-star review, you know what I could get for you? A piece of information for us to help our business. Here's the reason why. Now, I'm not saying that they're even correct, but this is just what they said. Okay, by the way, don't always believe these people. Always get both sides of it. And if you feel, and you're gonna know too, if the person's kind of an asshole, like,
but I have like,
you're just asking for asking. Yeah.
Like, I feel like this chick really liked me, and we talked about that sweet spot of like 5 times, like ask me 5 times, and I did, and she would be like, I'm gonna send a reminder to do it as soon as I get home.
Yeah.
And then 5 times later, I'm like, I gotta let this go, or I look like a fucking idiot.
Five is normally my limit. So, but I will tell you right now, I'm number 7 right now with my Indira. It's totally different person from you, because I killed it for her, and she keeps saying that she's doing it, and then she shows me that she did it, and then I can see that she just didn't write enough. So I'm like, hey, I literally even wrote a couple of things. Hey, what about our Facebook marketing? Would you mind mentioning this? And I just write, hey, they use Facebook marketing, they use drone, really nice pictures.
She didn't write enough for them to do it. Like,
you have, because if they,
the scores?
No, if they don't do that, they actually want to hear what you did specifically from them, or an attribute of yours. I know, but the reason for this is because this is why I don't jump to Google reviews. Google reviews are like shit, because your mom can leave one, your cousin can leave one. Like, for all the bullshit that Zillow does, they do a good job of vetting to make sure it's an actual real person.
Well, that's
so
fine.
that,
I love that you do that, but then critiquing what they write is the problem. And some people
that's what I don't like.
Yeah, that's people just want to say, she thought it was great,
I
and
agree.
all my needs both.
I agree. So that's why if they show me what they wrote, then I can help them and be like, hey, this is what they're asking for. They're just asking for maybe 2 or 3 more pieces of information. So that offer is up that offer is always standing for me to call on your behalf if you like. I have no problem doing that. I'd love to be able to call on your behalf. Because honestly, I bet you I can get a hell of a lot.
I understand, well, it's not for everybody, but how I got my last one.
Yeah.
I sent a little, edible arrangement of 6 chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh, how awesome.
Asking them to do it.
No, that's a great, hey, sometimes
It's not for everyone.
It can't, no, but you know what? It can't hurt.
You know
Let me
what,
tell you
that
something.
actually is, and I think like, if it
pretty
was
brilliant.
me, because, I might like send her chocolate covered strawberries and be like, just a deal.
That's pretty good.
You know what I mean, like.
And they're reasonable, there's always a coupon code.
So no, I think that's a great idea. Just a little something that's gonna break the bank for you. It's just something that's talking. So.
But, or like just literally like candy.
Yeah.
Candy and be like.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else? You could. This is really cheap. It's springtime right now. You could go get some of those packs of flowers for like 50 cents, like seed packs, and just be like, hey, just wanted to see if you want to plant. I don't know what you can say, but you get my idea. I was trying to say something clever and nothing.
I would be like, just wanted to plant the seed again one more time.
Oh yeah, so I plant the seed for that 5-star review. So excellent. All right, so hey, are we cool with this then, guys? Conversion rate 60%, my agent relationship 20%, follow-up boss, just use an integration 10%, and 5-star reviews 10%. and then we'll figure out just how we're gonna actually score them and stuff, so. But that's the percentage that I'd like to do, I think that's pretty applicable. I'm okay to modify this, if anybody would like to modify it with a reason. No? We okay with it then?
Can we have
Yeah.
do we have an end date for this, like a?
Yeah, so,
specific date?
March, April, May, June, end of contest is end of last day of June.
So tough for conversion. But if you're
But
under.
everybody's gonna have the same conversion, and on top of it, any leads that you had prior to March first, that you convert in this time frame, come into your conversion.
Yeah.
So that'll be the same for everybody. I know I can't, there's no exact definitive time, because our business
You're
rolls.
still together though,
Yeah.
right? Like you're still holding it together.
Yeah, if it's alive.
So you don't have to be close.
It doesn't, oh yeah, it doesn't have to be closed, it just has to be alive, guys. By the way, yeah, cause I see exactly what you're saying. There's no way. Yeah, you got,
Somebody to close
yeah,
to.
it's four. Because March, April, May, June. I added the extra month because our first month of
And
March.
then it's June 30th.
April, May,
Yeah,
June.
I
Yeah,
don't
June
know.
30th.
Oh, I thought it was 316.
Oh, no,
It's
sorry,
just
no.
on the board, not what's closed by.
Yes, and here's the deal, it does not have to be closed.
Oh, okay.
It just has to be written and alive past, deposit collected. Cause I know it's very rare that deals die once a deposit is collected. It happens, but it's pretty damn rare. So I would be very confident saying to you that that's gonna be a conversion, knowing that you're this much into the deal. And it can be closed, it can be written, it just has to be actionable within those 4 months.
Right.
And it can be leads that you had from a year ago. And if it pops in those 4 months, that's a conversion, right? That's the easiest and fairest way that I think that we could do this.
Okay.
Sweet. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time. It's always great bouncing ideas off you guys. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You guys are cool.